Liverpool versus everybody. We
Yo,
are joined, thankfully, by our friend GBCTV. Say what's up, Greg.
what's happening, people? We back. You know what I mean? Back to old football.
Yeah, we had a live earlier, and we're gonna try to make right on that now. For those who were there for the video earlier, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being there.
It's not
Um,
fair to y'all, so we apologize, man.
so we coming back. Want to do a different kind of spin off from what we did before, and just touching on some things earlier. We didn't do a post match. Onyx and I actually we did, but somehow we couldn't. We weren't able to upload it. It seems like maybe YouTube has been a little fishy lately. I'm not sure what's going on, but so I'm gonna try to do that now. It's way after the game. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen different kind of reviews of the Liverpool versus Southampton game and just of the weekend in general. But some of the things that I want to bring up, as I did before, was that Liverpool, we were able to, for once it seems like for once in a long time, take advantage of points dropped. And we know Greg is a Man United fan, so but the points that were dropped by them against Newcastle really gave us a shoe in to kind of get closer to them in the table. Now we're 2 points behind. Southampton has always been a bogey team for us. They've been tough to play against, go to St. Mary's and get a
Buddy,
victory. So to
buddy.
be able to do that was really, really good. Personally, I'm proud of the team. There were some things that weren't really great, and I had a chance to listen to the post match presser from Klopp, and I agree with a lot of things he said. You want to be happy with the win. It's a clean sheet. There's a chance to see Karius continue back-to-back games, doing a decent job, dealing with the ball as well, making some saves at pivotal points in the game. At the same time, though, the midfield, I would say, especially in the first half, we weren't the best in the midfield. And I think Lamina was part of the reason of that. He was really, really good for Southampton. I think in the second half, we did a little better. Milner came on, and we took Ox off. He wasn't really that great today. And I'm not really sure what we can narrow that down to, but he just wasn't great today. And that's something that hopefully we won't see too many more days of that, because this is the business part of the season and we're going to need everybody on the team. But, we did get the win. We do need to work on some things, but it's a good way it's a good win going into this Champions League away game against Porto. So for that, I'm happy. I wanted to open the floor for Greg. See anything you had to say, man.
I don't know, shocking to see Adam Lallana playing, after what he did to that kid. you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not going to let that go.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. No,
he's
I'm glad you
playing.
said that. I'm glad you said that. Seeing when I saw usually what I do is wait an hour before the game, and then I'll look on Instagram or Twitter or just the Liverpool account, and they'll show you the starting lineup. And I was pretty happy with the lineup. And I saw the bench, and I saw that Lallana was on it, and I was bothered by that, because I guess the rules are if something happens in under 23, then you're not, there's no discipline, which is really crazy to me. So you can do pretty much anything you want playing, in the under 23, right? Yeah, under 23, and no
That's
matter
still
how,
rules, bro.
no matter how, you know, terrible your actions may be, there's nothing that you can get in trouble for. So that bothered me, because again, and it's similar to what happened with what's the player that kicked his girlfriend? I can't think of his name right now. Man.
Some player kicked his girlfriend.
Yeah, we had a player on our team. I can't think. That's crazy. I can't think of
Oh
his name right
shit!
now. Um, oh man, that's wild. But anyway, it shows again, and even going back to Suarez, it shows again that Liverpool seem to be very
If you
hesitant when it
performing,
comes to, huh?
if you performing, or they like you, some of the actions
But
gonna
that's
go get passed by.
but that's the thing. Adam is not really performing. He's not doing anything. At the end of
He's
the day,
English. He's
right? No,
English.
I got you. I got you. But Suarez wasn't English. At the end of the day, like you said, if you're performing or they
Suarez was a
value you,
monster though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If they value you as a player and you're doing well for them, or you're not doing well, but you're English or what a Klopp, the coach likes you, whatever, then you get a pass, I guess. Because yet again, for me, it's another situation where someone's done wrong and there's nothing come from it. Suarez was blatantly racist. Number one, he bit people. Both of those things are both horrendous. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that
saying? Like it's
forever
just not
hurt me what he
even.
did at the World Cup. You know, the
I mean,
man
it's just
got him
crazy. I
that
mean,
spot.
exactly, exactly. He did it. He did it in the league, and he did it at the World Cup. It's just, you know, this kind of behavior is consistently being, you know, just kind of swept under the rug. Like, it's okay, no big deal. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that. So whatever, you know, I have no control of it, but it is something that really, really, really,
Question:
yeah,
if
yeah.
Karius keep performing till the end of the season like this, are you sold?
Great question. I'm gonna say I hope. I'm very proud of him. That's back-to-back games, and two really important games.
You know, I'm gonna hold you
Oh,
to that. You know
Flanagan. I'm
why?
sorry, Flanagan. Flanagan is his name. Flano.
I'm
John
gonna hold you to
Flanagan.
that. You know that.
Go ahead. Hold me to what?
To to your answer, I'm gonna tell you why when you finish.
Yeah, no, I'm saying right now. I think I'm. It's hard for me to say. Well, I think your question was, will he continue to be this way? You know, I don't know. I hope so. This is back-to-back games, both good teams. I mean, both teams that, you know, games that are really, really important. The Spurs game was. I think he did best he could in that game. There were other circumstances, whatever. Southampton, the bogey team, away at St. Mary's, always going to be tough. He stood up strong. I hope he can be, I guess, what he was at Mainz, or what Klopp thought he would be coming to
So
our team.
I'm saying the question
So
is,
yeah,
if he perform till the end of the season, are you sold?
I'm
Like
sold
y'all don't need
on
to
him.
buy a new keeper.
No. I'm sold on him being a number two. I'm not sold on him being number one yet. Hear me out though. Hear me out though. Hear me out though. That's because that's a big if. If he continues like that through the season, still I would say, you know what? I don't know, because I don't know if he's. It's only 2 games, right? I don't know if he's still the keeper. Kind of bring us over that hump and get us back into you know, winning trophies and, you know, being that great club in the Premier League. I just don't know
So
if 2 games is
so
enough for that. But
basically,
still, at the end of the season, let's say we go undefeated the rest of the season in the Premier League.
yeah.
Let's say we do that.
Uh-huh.
Then I would think twice, like, okay, depending on his performances, because we can go undefeated and we can still let in a bunch of goals. But Mo Salah might score some goals. Mane, Firmino, we might score enough goals to stay in games. But if he's part of the reason why we are doing well, then yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that I think that I could probably give him a chance. I still want another keeper because you still got to do something with
Okay.
Mignolet. You got to do
So
something with
if
Mignolet.
if you see he, like, you know what I mean, he does perform, and it comes the end of the season, you guys do happen to go undefeated, and you got a chance to get Allison for 60 million.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, you know, we still need another keeper, mainly because
So you
our
bring
third
Allison
keeper.
in?
If that's what they want, I told you I wanted Donnarumma. I wanted Donnarumma,
Oh
but
yeah.
Allison's a good keeper. Oblak's a good keeper. If we get one of those 3, I'm happy. Either one, I'm good. And again, if Carrier shows that he can play to the rest of the season, that's good. That's good for us. But still, for me, backup. I think you need somebody who could be more consistent, who's proven. He still seems a little bit nervy. Now, again, we got 11 more games to play in the Premier League, so he has a good amount of time to show that he can do
He's
this
worth it.
consistently. You know what I mean? So if he does that, and again, somebody made a comment earlier when we did the live that De Gea took some time to get settled. So he's coming from Germany. You know, this is still a new league to him, still new. And he's getting a stretch of, because everybody's argument was, we'll give him a stretch of games to see what he can do. He's got that stretch of games now, so now we can see what he can actually do.
Let me ask you a question, Black. You watch some City games, right?
Yeah, of course.
You think that Ederson is getting, the goalkeeper is getting exposed? It's just that City is just too good that, you know, like, it hides some of his flaws?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Really?
not. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I think think Edison is the real deal, personally. I mean, if anything, he's hiding some of the flaws of City. I mean, I think he's amazing. I saw a little bit of a clip that he had an interview where he was talking about, the game and how he thinks he can play midfield, and I agree. You know what I'm saying? He has the skill. He has the skills to be a field player. Let me get to Tony Kelly real quick. Thanks for joining the chat. He said, "What's up, man? How's you doing today? What do you think of today's game?" Yeah, he said, "What do you think of today's game when we are 2 points from Man United?" I think today's game was a good result, and yes, being 2 points away from United, that's something you can kind of be excited about, but you never know what's going to happen. I mean, United might go on a winning streak, here after the Champions League. We never know. I mean, we're still 2 points away. So unless we're past them, then I'm not really concerned about it to that extent. I mean, at the end of the day, we got to just keep doing our thing, keep getting points. If United drop points, great, we can take advantage of it. But we got to handle our own business, and if we're doing that, that's what will bring me the most joy. He also says if we got Allison and another new good strong center back like Van Dijk and another left back, Marino isn't good, and it's too shaky rather than Robertson.
I think you guys should get the left back. You guys should have got Roma. Got it. That guy is a beast, man. This guy named Gonzalez. I forgot his name. Gonzalez something, but he's the left back for Roma. And you guys, man, if you could get Manolas to partner up with Van Dijk, man. Mm-hmm. Or imagine like some fuck shit happen and you guys got Skriniar from Enter.
Yeah, I mean, I told you I like Koulibaly too. Koulibaly.
Yeah. You see, this is the thing. Why they're taking so long to come get the boy though?
I know. That's the thing because I'm trying to tell you, man, it's gonna be a really interesting.
I'm not saying Napoli not a big team. You know what I'm saying? But like, let the brother take the next step. He deserves it.
No, it's the same thing with Lacazette in a way. I mean, he was at Lyon for a long time, and then finally, and I used to wonder why didn't anybody come and swoop in for him? I mean, different positions, but my point is, it makes you wonder why sometimes. Now, a lot of times, just because teams don't go after players doesn't mean they're not good. Lacazette is a special situation, but I think the guy at Napoli is really good and probably wants to show his skills in another league. Challenge himself.
I think after the World Cup, he's gonna get his shot.
I think Senegal's going to be really good this season. So
especially if Napoli win the league too,
which I think they will. So yeah, that's true. If they win the league, he's going to be hot property. The whole team is going to be a Monaco situation. Yeah. Everybody's going to want their players. You know what I mean? Dries Martins, even Callejon. I mean, a lot of players on their team, people are going to want. So we got to be up in those kind of conversations. They got a lot of players from back to front, man, that any team could use and should want on that spot. So we'll see what happens. I like him a lot, though. He's top of my list. It was Akanji. We know what happened with Akanji. He went to Dortmund, which is kind of ironic in a way. But I really liked him. He's young, really good. I don't know if – I'm sure he's played – Switzerland? Well, Switzerland's in the World Cup, right?
Switzerland? Yeah, he's there. He's going to play.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. But, again, this is going to be a really, really exciting World Cup, man.
You think, like, there's, like, a monopoly behind the scene, like a little mob behind the scene that basically, like, control the transfer market, giving teams like Dortmund, like, assets? Because Akanji was, like, linked with some of the big names that need center back, and he's proven. But at the end of the day, he went to Dortmund. Dortmund is a great team, but they, you know what I mean? They're nowhere near like that's a separate from a team that it's like he had to take another step, and then imagine, you know what I mean? My mind just wondering this shit. He's going to the World Cup, and most likely, you know what I mean, even if Switzerland get bashed out the first round, he's got the group stages, he's gonna do good, and he's still gonna rise up, and that's like assets for Dortmund to actually keep their club running. You think there's a little mob behind the scene making sure shit stays up and running?
You know what? I do actually, and I think there is in most sports. And one thing I think people don't. No, I mean you could say, but I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, I think probably in football in general, I think especially in the Premier League. I mean, some of these situations that go on. I mean, because there's so much money involved, and I know every league has that, but I think Premier League to a degree, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I agree, and it makes you wonder. I mean, Dortmund looks like they're on the way down personally. So I don't really know why because that seems like you said, a sidestep instead of a forward step. You know what I mean? It doesn't really seem. Yeah. I don't really feel like he's gonna develop.
Like a little forward step instead of taking 3, take 1.
Yeah, it's a little strange to me. And I'm not saying it because I really liked him. I'm not salty about it, but I'm saying it because if he's really a good player and he wants to prove himself, I feel like you move a different direction, not to Dortmund. I don't know. Maybe Bayern. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't really see Dortmund. I even see RB Leipzig moving ahead of Dortmund, to be honest. Even if they're losing Naby Keita. Yeah, at this point, right. It's still early, but that seemed like a strange decision to me. But again, with some of these players, they're so young. There's so many people talking to them, family, their agents. So a lot of times it's not even really a solo decision. It's a lot of other people kind of influencing these last decisions. A lot of money involved. So, but no, I agree. I think there is a mob situation, or there are alternate kind of energies going on besides just what we see in the paper. Let me read this comment real quick. Tony, what's up, bro? You standing strong with us. I appreciate that. He said Karius has a clean sheet and he's improving. I think if Mignolet was playing today, it could have been a draw. I really do believe that Klopp made a good choice so far in third and right behind United. Have you seen that kid holding up that poster of they are made to play for Southampton? They sell to Liverpool. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the little cardboard poster that the little kid had, which I think that's what you're talking about. He held up a poster. I didn't really see what it said, but I guess that's what it was. It was something about Southampton selling to Liverpool. Southampton was singing a song most of the game that rhymed with some words from one of our songs. So they were a little salty, which I get it. Listen, they've been selling a lot of their players to our team. But it works both ways. I mean, you're selling us, that means you're getting some money. So at the end of the day, I would think you'd be kind of happy with that. Now, what you do with that money is that club's own prerogative. If you're not buying the right players, then your beef should be with that board, that team, your club, not with Liverpool. You guys do. Southampton does produce some really good players. They have a really good youth system, and all of that. But if we're taking advantage of that, then Liverpool obviously is a bigger club than Southampton. So, of course, a club the size of Southampton would hate against a team who's a bit bigger than them when they're taking their best players. But these players usually want to leave you guys. It's not like it takes the player to want to go, to actually get them. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it is Southampton. They are in the relegation fight of their lives right now, down at the bottom of that league. It's tough. I mean, let me ask you again. Your thoughts on the 3 teams that will get relegated. If you had to say it today, if it ended today, who would you say would go?
I don't think Southampton is going to get relegated.
Okay.
I think they find it through.
Really? Okay.
And, yeah.
So give me your 3 teams then.
I don't get who's going to, who's at the bottom of the table. I'm not going to lie to you. You all the way at the bottom, man.
No, that's fine. No, right now it's West Brom. They're at the very bottom. And then you have Stoke. And then you have Southampton.
Whew.
And they're all. And
the thing about it, the team.
Like I said.
They talented.
Southampton?
Yeah, Stoke too. Stoke got Hesse. Remember Hesse?
He don't be playing like that. Of course I remember Hesse. Real Madrid. But he don't. Bro, he comes off the bench if that. He came off the bench today and was too late. Wow. But bro, Stoke is either, what's that guy they got that used to play with he's supposed to be really, really good. He's short and stocky, kind of muscular. The little winger they got.
IU?
Nah, not Stoke. I can't think of his name. My mind is skipping me today, man. But they are not Arnautovic. What's the winger they got? If somebody knows in the chat, let me know. I can't think of their name. But they Stoke is going down, I think, man. They just don't have enough. And I can't see them from now to the end of the season really doing much. I don't see it. I don't see it.
So, are you but West Brom got some nice center backs too. They big as hell, like two Egyptians. They straight, but I don't know, man. The Premier League is tough, man.
Man, they also got Sturridge, but he doesn't really seem to be doing anything. Look, we're gonna see what they do tomorrow. They play Chelsea.
Yo, that might end up fucking up Chelsea.
Real quick. Shaqiri is what I was talking about. Thank you, Sports Epicenter. I've never seen you before, but welcome to the chat. Welcome, Asayame. Asayame says, heard Drifty on Football Banner Show make good point about Mane. Said Mane plays better on the right side than the left side. Mo Salah has taken over his preferred position. Well, that's nothing really new. That's not anything that's it's not, you know, people. Yeah, I mean, Mane. Everyone knows Mane is better on the right. I don't know if that's really the reason that he's had this recent drop in form, as some people would say. I think personally he's getting in the right positions. He's been a bit unlucky.
Yo, you know the thing about it.
You know,
anybody on that right side of Liverpool, like, you know, what I mean? Not anybody, but with skills like Salah and Mane. If a player of Mane or Salah caliber is on that Liverpool right side, they're gonna score hella goals, because that's how club offense is designed, bro.
On the right side?
Yeah. Look at any player that's on the right side of a club offense.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think he's doing all the right things, and I just think that a lot of times it's that finishing, that end product, it's just escaping him a bit. So it's one of those things, man. He just needs to keep his confidence up. I think it's very easy to lose that, especially when you're having the chances and things just aren't going right for you. It happens, man. I think Ronaldo, not to compare the two players, but Ronaldo had gone through a bit of a time like that here recently, right? I mean, wasn't he struggling a little bit to score goals and stuff?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard, it's tough.
But look how they fall in love with him. You remember how we be saying, "Oh, this is football, that's crazy." 2 weeks, not even a week ago, that boy was getting trashed to the media. He's finished. It's the end for Ronaldo. Everybody, I think Ronaldo's on the decline. I think Ronaldo's finished, you know. He's getting slow. Now he's 2 games, he scored a load of goals. Now he's the top scorer in that league. You know, people are saying, oh, Ronaldo is back. He's great. He never went nowhere.
Exactly. You know, and so a lot of times as fans, we get a little impatient. And when things aren't going right, it's easy for us to say somebody's out of form or they're trash, garbage, they're not as good as they were last season. His stats add up to what he was doing last season. You know what I mean? It's not really that much off, but we didn't have Salah last season, so it was easy to highlight Mane. He was kind of our Salah of last season to a degree. He didn't score that many goals, but he was our kind of go-to guy, and that's who we were leaning on. And he's got an assist. He's got the goals. Is that Salah's there doing so well that it kind of overshadows it, in my opinion. Let me read this comment real quick. Tony says, we were linked with the Portuguese winger in the summer in January. We should have bring another winger in case of Mane or Salah. Yeah, he's probably talking about Gelson Martins. Yeah, we talked about him a lot on the lives. I love Gelson Martins. Man, that sandwich looks so good right now, bro. Wow. Anyway, yeah, I love Martins. If that's who you're talking about, I think it's Martins. Really young Portuguese player, quick as I don't know what, man. Fast, pacey, can play ball. He's Portuguese, so there's not really a shock there. I would love to have him. I don't agree with bringing someone in January. That's just me. I know I'm in a small minority. Bringing players in January is always a big risk to me. You know, you don't really know what to expect from a player in January. You don't know what you're getting. You know about the hype, but you don't know how that's going to really go off. I prefer the idea that Klopp sticks with.
He would have benched Mane, you know.
He would have benched Mane?
Yeah. That was going to fuck up your whole squad.
Maybe. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. And that's what I'm saying.
You like him in January, and he benching Mane. Like, he's starting to get some time for Mane and he performing. And they becoming more dangerous. Would you accept that?
No, that's what I'm saying. I never really thought about that. That's a good point. I wouldn't have wanted it to. I wouldn't want him to come in or anybody to come in and just take Mane's spot. Would I have been upset if we did bring someone in? No, but I'm also not upset that we didn't. I love what Klopp. I love his idea about bringing players in, and he wants to have guys in the summer work with them, see what they have, see how they fit into the team instead of just buying guys that just fit temporary holes. You know what I mean? Like a lot of teams will do. You know, Arsenal, they went out and got Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang. We'll see how that goes, but it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't really necessarily uplift their season. You know what I mean? You can't just buy a player or two and think they're going to change your season away in a few months. It just doesn't happen that way.
Black, so that's what we was talking about, the mob.
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Right. Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, so it's a big money thing, and of course, Arsenal fans were all excited. If you look at their channel, they all were excited because they were getting all these players, Obama blood clot Yang, and all these different things. You know, but and they saying about, like I said, they calling them lack of minutes or lack of skill or like, you know, they got all the jokes now.
They took a long time to turn on him, though.
I know. Remember when they first got Lacazette? Everybody. That's the thing. Like, you know, especially that's why I say in January, and this is to you Liverpool fans, hang in there, man. We got a few games left. Well, more than a few, but especially in the Premier League, we got 11, 12, whatever it is, 11 games left, I think. Hang in there, man. We did it last season, and I think arguably we're stronger this season with Salah, with Ox in the middle. We got some injuries, but I think we're stronger this season than we were last year. We got two young fullbacks playing really well. Let's just hang in there, believe in the team. You know, not getting a replacement for Coutinho was not the worst thing. And I think when we get in the summertime, we get some players in the team, I think people will see that we'll be okay. We'll be okay. But the main focus is
position you guys think, top two position you guys think you need to improve.
Again, I still think keeper. I think keeper is definitely on top of that list. And I don't know how much Klopp wants to play with a defensive midfielder, but I personally would love a defensive midfielder just sit. Even if that means you put Matip there, try him there, maybe put Gomez in the back. I don't know, but
you think
I want a defensive. I do. I think if I mean, there's a lot of Klopp is kind of the master of just grabbing guys and putting them where he sees fit. You know, he's shown that. You know, Henderson's not a defensive midfielder, but he's played him in the 6 before. Milner's not a left back, but he played him at left back. You know, Firmino is kind of this kind of auxiliary hybrid forward player who does a lot of things off the ball.
Let's praise him, man. Let's praise him. This guy, at the beginning of his career, he wasn't showing those resilient skills, man.
Who?
Firmino. He wasn't showing those. Now he's doing back heel, like, I don't know, man, making it look beautiful.
But that's the thing, man. I think I'm sure he was doing some flashy things. I don't want to call it flashy, but I'm sure he was showing that a bit when he was that Schalke? Oh no, not Schalke. Hoffenheim. I'm sure he was doing some good things there, but that's the thing about playing under a manager who believes in you and lets you enjoy your football. You know, I hate to bring it up again, but the good example that I like to use is Sterling. I mean, he loves playing at City. You can see that. Even when he has bad games and the coach gets upset, you know, the coach believes in him, obviously. He's one of the main focal points in that team, week in and week out. You know what I mean? So you need a coach that kind of believes in you. But, yeah, I agree with you. Maybe he wasn't really showing it, but now he is. My point is, Klopp has a way of – like, people already have an opinion of where – or they already had it made up in their mind where Keita's going to play. I don't know where Keita's going to play. I know to be in the midfield, but I really don't know where he's going to be. Is he going to be deep? Is he going to be attacking? Is he going to be more central? Is he going to be all of it? You know, you can't really say with Klopp because he has a mind of his own.
For Keita.
Go ahead.
You got high expectations for Keita. 1 to 10.
My expectations?
Yeah.
I expect him to come in and
what do you think Keita is going to come in there and do?
I think he's going to come in there and be much of what we really need in a midfielder, as in what we had with, let's say, Xabi Alonso. You know, I think he's going to be a very, very important cog in that midfield. He's physical. He's fast as I don't know what. He doesn't give up on play. I think it's unfortunate because I think I think he's so kind of sold on leaving to Liverpool. He wants it so bad. I think he really wanted it in January.
Keita.
And I think his game might be suffering a bit from it in Germany. I've watched some of the games, and although he scored recently against Augsburg, when the other players on his team score, he doesn't really get involved.
He's been criticized about it.
Yeah, well, I don't even think it's necessary because people are going to criticize you. I mean, 'cause when you have a great season, people are going to expect that every time. You know, it doesn't matter who you are. But because he's going to Liverpool, he's an African player. You know, he's getting some criticism. But he's still got 7 goals for a midfielder. That's pretty good, I think, in Germany. He's probably going to score more. I think he can get 10 goals this season. Look, my point is, you know, he's gotten some red cards this season. Maybe for them, he hasn't been as great. But you see, they didn't want to let him leave. So he clearly wasn't that big of a problem. If he was that big of a problem, they would have said, you know what, yeah, take him off our hands. He's a headache in the dressing room. He's getting too many red cards. But they were dying to keep him. So I think he's going to come in and set the world off. I think he's going to really rip up almost kind of like Conte did for Leicester and Chelsea. But the only difference is that
Keita, imagine you guys. Okay, would you mind losing Emery Chen if you get Keita and NDD or Doucouré?
Yeah, again, I mean, I love Emery, but if he wants to go, he can go. You know, honestly, if he really, I got to be consistent, because when we had players in the past that wanted to leave, I said the same thing. I didn't like them as much as I like Emery, but the same thing has to go for them. If they want to be somewhere else, and if that's what Chan really wants, I can't. I mean, he's got to go then. And if to have Doucouré and Keita in, I probably wouldn't even miss Emery. I wouldn't even miss Emery. Honestly, I wouldn't even think about Emery. But that's a big if. That's a big if. We already getting Keita, which is great. But who else you giving me? Because I don't want to look to the left and look to the right, and we still got Henderson, Milner, and Lallana. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of work to do in the summertime. It's not just about buying players. We got to get rid of some guys on this team as well. But Doucouré is amazing, I think. Let's see. Tony says we will. Oh yeah. I say Yahweh. Let me know if I'm saying your name right, bro. He said Keita is going to give everything to Liverpool. He actually said it. Well, I mean, most players aren't going to say they're not going to give everything, but I think his desire has shown, you know, in the news, out of the news, that he wants to be at Liverpool. I think that's kind of saddened him a little bit. But I mean, when he gets there, like I said, I think he'll have the same kind of impact that N'Golo had with Leicester and Chelsea. And the only addition is that he scores goals. He's just as quick as him, just as fast, just as physical, just as much as a pest like Conte is. And I just can't wait, man. I cannot wait to get him in the team. That'll be exciting. Tony said, I hope he bags a lot of goals when he comes, at least 11 to 13 next season, and he will develop with Emery if he stays, hoping and praying does and Ox.
What do you guys see in Emery, bro? Like, I don't know. Y'all love Emery. It's like y'all Liverpool players fall in love with the average center midfielders. Hendo, average. Lallana, average.
I can't speak for the other people. I'll read you guys' comments in a second. I can't speak for anybody else. I think Emery is still very young. I think people will forget that. So sure, you can say he's average now, but I think that he has some room for growth. I like his he works really hard. Of course, there's other things he can improve on. But I like that he's a kind of a rugged, you know, physical, hardworking player. And of course, he seems to have his games when he's off. Today was one of them, honestly. I can speak honestly about Emery. So I can't speak about other people when it comes to liking average players. Look, this is who we have. So, you know, you try to find within the players that you have who you kind of gravitate to. Who do you like skill set? You know, a lot of people. I think more people love Henderson than they do Emery Chan. If you really, you know, talk to Liverpool fans, I think most people, if you had to take like a poll, I think most people would say Henderson. To me, they're both not really at the level of what we need in the midfield, to be honest. And that's coming from me, who loves Emery Chan. I think he isn't really at that level right now that we need to be, you know, moving forward. I think he can be that, but I don't think he wants. I don't even know if he wants to stay at Liverpool. So we have to see. But no, I get what you're saying. I mean, a lot of times, you know, fans do hype average players. They did it with Lala last season. You know, he's supposed to be this amazing midfielder. They do it with Jack Wilshere. They do it with a lot of English players. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? I don't really have a...
You know, instead of getting rid of Jack Wilshere, but listen, he at the age where players need to get pay rise, right?
Right.
He's so bad, he getting pay cuts to stay. You see what I'm saying? To stay at Arsenal, bro. And then the thing about it, for them not to send Jack Wilshere away to go play for an average team like Bournemouth, they sent him on loan. You know what I mean? On loan, man. On loan. How many top players that got injured that got to go on loan? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let me read some of these comments. Osa says, I expect Mane and Keita to have a good partnership because they are actually friends. Very true. A lot of people forget that. They should have a good connection.
Imagine you guys get Keita Balde too. And
that would be cool. I mean, again, he's not on my list, but again, I trust who Klopp brings in. But yes, that would be cool. But yeah,
so
we all know Mane. Yeah, definitely. I know we all know Mane and Keita have a good relationship. So that'd be cool. I even think Firmino and Mo right now are developing something really special between themselves, getting assists to each other and both getting goals. So that was really good. I don't know if it's that, man. I just think certain players kind of link, and I don't really think it's about leaving Mane out because Mane was definitely involved in his game, obviously, because he could have had a couple goals and assists. It's just it just I mean, certain players kind of know each other a little bit better. On Mane, there is it does seem to be some hesitation on his part in certain parts of the game where he's not really confident in doing certain things that we know he can do. Especially when it comes to one-on-one with players, he kind of decides to hold back, go centrally, slow it down. I mean, sometimes that works. We've seen that, but more times than not, we need him to be a little bit more aggressive when it comes to that. But let's see. Tony says, when Keita comes in, if someone has to go, I think Henderson should go. I think Henderson should go regardless. Again, he's another. First of all, he's becoming too injury prone. He wasn't on the bench today. I don't know why that was, but maybe he hurt his foot again. But he's got to go for me. I'm sorry. If you keep him or Milner, to me, it's got to be Milner. Between the two, at least Milner, you can count on. He's not going to be injured every month. You know what I mean. And I think Milner, to be fair, this season when he's come on, he's done pretty good. So he also, he said he's had his playing time. Don't think get the best out of Henderson. He's good on his days. Yep. We are linked with Jack Wilshere. I forgot that I wouldn't mind taking him because he gives more options going forward to Firmino, Salah, Mane. I think Wilshere is another overrated English player, if you ask my opinion. That's just the truth. I mean, he's okay. He's just kind of getting back too. I mean, he's been injured a lot for Arsenal, and he's finally getting back, and people are hyping him, I think, too early. You know what I mean? I don't know. I want some nasty guys in the midfield, man. I'm tired of all this kind of just like, nice guy play. I want some more physical guys in the midfield, and I think Keita's beginning of that. It's going to be, you're going to offset it if you got Keita, and he looks to his left and right, and he got guys like Lallana or Henderson. Or it's just not, you gotta surround him with dogs like him. You know what I mean? In a certain way. Like, you might have a flair player, your Coutinho kind of player, whatever. A lot of people have been talking about that guy from West Ham. I forget his name. But, if you want to bring in a creative player, that's fine. I'm more creative than Keita or different to Keita. Because, again, I don't know where Keita's going to play. I don't know if anybody knows that. I don't know if he's going to play deep, left, right, attacking, whatever. But you got to bring some other guys in that midfield to fit in with him. You can't just have him and think, oh, we got him now we're good. Kind of like Van Dijk. You can't just get Van Dijk and think all of your problems are done. He's going to settle everything. We're going to have clean sheets from the rest of the season. You got to get Bill. Now, that's a good spine because now you got Firmino up top. You're going to have Keita in the middle. You got Van Dijk. That's a good spine, but you still need a head and you still need feet. So we still need to finish out that defensive back, the goalkeeper. I think Firmino is still good. If you want to get somebody else as backup, or you want to believe in whatever, I'm gonna leave that up to Klopp.
I like. Ducouré say he wanted to play for Liverpool, right?
Is that a joke? Is that a joke?
Nah.
Huh. I didn't know that. But see, I don't believe that until it happens. I mean, how many?
That was a joke, man. I know you love that guy, man.
Yeah, how many players have said, "Oh, I would love to play for Arsenal one day"? I mean, it's, I don't know. I mean, if that's true, great. Let me go up and read Tony's comment. He said, I missed one of his comments earlier. He said, Southampton is like our main side. How we going for a smash every now and then, and we flash in the money, and Southampton come running every time. Yeah, that's true. That's a good comment. That's true. I mean, they're definitely like a Liverpool B team, if you will. Osa says Goretzka wanted to come to Liverpool because of Klopp, but picked Bayern Munich because his family wants him to stay in Germany, and it guarantees him a spot in the German national squad. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's the mob. That's the mob.
Right. Well, it could be the mob mentality, but like I said, there's so many different variables that go in these players' minds, man. The family, the agent. I mean, there's so many things that go into it, and like you said, his family wanted him in Germany, so he chose that. Instead of going with what he thought.
Check this out, though. Bayern, bro, year in and year out, they get the best midfielders, bro. I'm sure some of these kids don't think they'll make it.
They get the best everything, man. Especially if you're German, and especially if you're already playing in Germany.
Some of these
that's why I'm not surprised.
Know they won't make it.
That's why I'm not surprised he went there. Like when I heard that they were involved as well, I was thinking, you know what? If it came down between Liverpool and Bayern would win out. I mean, I know Klopp is German, and that's all cool. I know Klopp is doing some good things, and he should have some pull to have players all through Europe come to Liverpool. But it's Bayern, man. It's right there. It's almost like, if someone says, why don't you come to this, there's a better restaurant over in my part of the neighborhood, but you have a good restaurant that you love right there. Same food. So it's just like you're going to go there. You're not going to go all the way across town just to get the same food you can get across the street. So I think for Goretzka, he felt it was a comfortable choice he made. He's already there. You don't got to move your family. You can stay around your mother, your dad, whatever the case may be. And I don't knock him for it. But there's other midfielders out there that we can get. It shouldn't be just hung on Goretzka and not getting him. Let me read this comment real quick. We got 3 viewers, man. We'll keep going for a little bit. Tony says, Sanchez does that to United. Oh, I wanted to play for United all my life and supported them as a kid. And he said the same thing when he joined Arsenal. What lies can footballers tell? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, footballers are humans.
Oh, right, of course. But that's what I mean. Like, a player saying he wants to play with a team to me doesn't really mean a lot. Like, just show me. I'd rather players show me that than say it. You know what I mean? Like, there's but so many Steven Gerrards who's from Liverpool who you probably could believe that a little more than others because he's from there, he grew up there. That's his his team that he had growing up as a child. Boyhood club. So you can kind of believe that. But at the end of the day, same thing with that and transfer rumors. You just never know. You never know what's going to happen. Tony says, I think we will get Lamar in the summer. If not, we will get a decent upcoming player. I think we're out of the race for Lamar, man. I mean, if the rumors are right, again, rumors, but you think about it, Lamar, we talked about this yesterday on the live, and Lamar is $90 million. And if he has a great World Cup with France, which is a chance that he could, that's only going to rise. So I can't see Klopp paying that much for, I guess, a winger. I don't even know what his really best position is, but for that kind of a player, I can't see Klopp paying that much money. I think the most money Klopp will ever play at Liverpool is what he paid for Van Dijk. I could be wrong, but I think he's going to try to get guys that around that price or lower, like 75, 80 or lower. But I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, the Premier League is tough, and if City and United are just dropping millions of dollars left and right in the summer, then maybe he'll realize, like, you know what, this is a new league for me. I gotta spin with the big boys. So we'll see.
True.
One more comment, couple comments. Tony says everybody is saying Keita is going to be the next Liverpool legend like Gerrard. We have the money. I really want us to pay. It's not our money. No, you're right. You're right. And that's the thing. I mean, if you got the money, spend it. I just don't know if Klopp is going to spend that much. But sure, if you're going to do it, fine. I'm not saying don't spend it. But I just feel like there's a lot of other players out there that may be better for us. I don't know. You never know until they come. I don't know what it is, but like you said, it's not our money. So if we want somebody, I prefer us to go out and get them instead of letting other teams around us get them, just because it's a money situation. So I agree with that. He said he's only on like $25,000 a week. Lamar is now. Yeah, a midfield is his best position. Okay. Imagine him, Emery, and Keita in that midfield. Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, there's so many players that I can imagine in that midfield, or even in the attacking players. Will we get them all? No. So I'm happy we're getting Keita. Huh?
You sold on Real Madrid?
Am I sold on them?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, you think these two not little victories, whatever. These two victories that they just got, you know what I mean? You sold on them that they're going to run through PSG and basically catch on fire for the end of the season?
Well, see, again, I think the league and Champions League matches are just, obviously they're different, but I think you can't really, what they're doing in the league to me doesn't mean anything when it comes to Champions League. That's a whole different competition. And yes, so I think they'll step their game up. They realize it's a big stage. The last few seasons they've been doing really good, beyond very good, actually, back to back Champions League. So, I mean, I think this is their tournament. They're really good in this tournament. They've shown that. So, yeah, I got them beating PSG. Really, I do. And a lot of that is based on just their pedigree and how they usually show up in this tournament. And also, I just think PSG is a bit overrated. You know what I mean? They welcomed in Neymar and Mbappe, but nothing has really shown to me that they're ready to really take on Europe like that. I just don't see it. I mean, especially defensively. They got some good attacking players, good midfield players, but nothing defensively says to me that I should fear that they can beat Real Madrid.
So who you got making it to the round of who you got? What teams you got making the final 8? I got Manchester United in there. I got Liverpool in there.
Oh wow! Okay.
I got PSG in there.
Go ahead.
I got Bayern in there. I got Tottenham on there. I got Roma in
there. For me, I'm gonna go with Barcelona, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Besiktas, Sevilla, Roma, Basel. Well, that's 7. And then I think Spurs are going to beat Juventus.
I think so. That's what I got. Think this is the year Juventus don't get far in the Champions League, and this is the year that they concede the title to Napoli. And next year they go into a panic and buy every young player in the Serie A.
Well, that would be a double blow for them. I mean, if they can't do in the Champions League, they have got to win the league. That would be a really down year for them to go out early in both of those. It looks like Napoli is just the best team in Serie A right now. I mean, I think that's obvious. Just on the eye test, the way they played this season, they've been so good. They've been so good. They haven't had that many letdowns like Juventus had. They got knocked out of the Champions League. They had a tough group, I think. They got knocked out, but I think maybe even that manager was thinking, you know what? Let's just we're just trying to get back into Europe. Let's focus on the league and get back to the Champions League next year and try to do some things then. But I think they definitely can get Serie A. But my choices are probably not going to be right for the final 8. I mean, it's a lot of tough matchups, but that's who I think. I think there'll be a few upsets. Hopefully it's not Porto over Liverpool.
I'm waiting for next year's Champions League. Inter better get in there. If Inter get in there, there's gonna be problems for some people. I can't wait to see that same Inter I used to see as a kid, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think Juventus looks like they might be going down a bit, and both Milan teams I think could step up. And we talked about Lazio as well. So these teams are hungry, man, and they're getting players coming in, fighting for them, and on board with what they want to do in their project. I think they can definitely, and that's the thing you want in these leagues. You want other teams battling. You don't want leagues like where the same teams every single season, or same 2 or 3 teams every single season are going to be winning it. You want some variety, some other teams, doing well, like Monaco in League One, and Ligue 1. So that's always good for football. Let me read a couple of these comments. Tony says we can do more in the Champions League than Monaco. Like Monaco's another Liverpool, always selling their best players. You see it every time. They get a good player.
They pride on that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Liverpool's a selling club. A lot of people say that, and that's fine. That's your own opinion. I don't see it that way.
Trophy droughts, man. They all get your main players picked on.
Yeah, I don't think we're a selling club necessarily. Tony also says, I heard Roma's transfer coach makes so much money buying young talent and sell them on
Yeah,
for money.
Munchie. Yeah, Munchie.
Yeah. So Osa says Klopp wants to sign players that actually want to play for Liverpool. Exactly, and that's what it comes down to. Does not want to panic buy or buy players that don't fit his plan, and that's the thing. And I like that. I don't know how anybody can be mad at that. You know what I mean? I feel like fans just want us to buy a player just because. You buy a whole bunch of players and they don't work out, then what? You got to have a player that the coach sees fitting the team. You don't want to be like Chelsea buying Russ Barkley, Giroud, and all these got Drinkwater. No, Drinkwater. They got Drinkwater? Yeah, Drinkwater. All these players who they don't really fit the mold of what a Chelsea player is. They just don't. You know what I mean? So, we don't want to get stuck into that. Tony says anyone be better than Moreno and Mignolet, please. Yeah, I mean, we definitely need a goalkeeper. I wouldn't mind a couple fullbacks, defensive players in general, another midfielder or two, and then maybe another attacking player or two. So at the end of the day, I support whoever Klopp brings in. I don't really care who it is, what position it is.
Just cross the river and go to Manchester United.
What?
Just come join us over here, because next year we could for sure go win the title.
What you putting that black and mild, man? What you putting that black and mild?
Nothing, man. Yo, we're gonna win the title. Yo, next year we're gonna win the title, man.
I mean, I wouldn't expect you to say anything different. I mean, I think the same thing about Liverpool. You should say that.
No.
You know what I'm
next
saying?
year we're gonna win the title.
What makes you think that? What makes you think that though?
A statistic have proven 90% of the time or 70% of the time Jose Mourinho win the title in his third season.
Well, that's true. That is true, actually. You're right about that. Same thing with Klopp, though. Same thing with Klopp. So if we go by statistics, it'll be a tough. Listen, man. Ever since
around longer,
Ever since Klopp came in, Jose came back, and Pep came in, you knew this league was going to be tough, man. Even Conte, even though he's leaving soon. But you knew when these managers came in, Pochettino to an extent, but he can't keep Tottenham high enough. They finished second.
No, give him respect because he again taught them to finish where they're supposed to finish.
No, and I think that's good. But what I'm saying, and I think if he leaves Tottenham, the jobs will be whatever he wants. I think people will be after him.
This guy only got one player in the transfer window season, the January one. Only Sanchez. And Sanchez has been instrumental to what they're doing.
No. He got him in the summer, but he got Lucas Moura in the winter.
Oh, yeah. My bad. My fault. Yeah,
no, it's cool. But you're right, because, Pochettino does things the right way. He's very quiet with it, goes in, gets them, and that's it. And usually the guys he gets, they perform, man. Everybody he's gotten, for the most part, maybe Llorente is the only one. Nah, there was a couple other. I think he had Clint. What's the African guy? Clint something. I forget his name. But most of the players he brings in, like Klopp, they end up working for the team. I'm looking forward to seeing what Lucas Moura does for them. I think that's a good player. But we'll see. Hold on one second. Let me see here. So Tony wanted me to ask you, do you think De Gea is going to sign a long contract or go to Real Madrid?
Thank you for asking me that question because I don't care if he stay or go. If he goes, we probably get the better deal if he goes.
Okay.
I'm thinking like a business, I'm thinking like a sport director more than a fan.
Okay.
If he stays, it's gonna cost us mad money because last year it was only 200,000. After the summer, 250. Now he's asking for 400 because of Sanchez contract and shit. So if he goes, I'm pretty sure Real Madrid gonna give us at least 60 million in cash, and they're gonna give us a player. So any player we get from Asensio, Isco, or Varane, that's a W. And with that 60 million, let's go get Alisson and problem solved.
Okay. Also says Emery Chan was a Brandon Rodgers signing. Brits love to overhype players. I remember a few years ago, people were comparing him to Steven Gerrard. Emery Chan had to calm down the hype. Yeah, I mean, I like Emery personally, and I don't compare him to Steven Gerrard. I don't compare Henderson to Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard is his own man, and he never won a league either. Let's remember that. But we know how good of a player he was, and the accomplishments that he had. But in my opinion, Emory Chang was one of the few players that Brendan Rodgers brought in that I think has some promise and is showing that. He's not great every game. He does miss games, have games off, but so did Coutinho. But nobody talked about that. You know, he's not world class. I think he's a good player. But yeah, I mean, if he leaves and goes to Juventus, I wish him the best. As long as we get somebody else in the midfield that's better, then I'd be happy with that. Ian says Man United won't win the title unless they sign Kane or Bale or Messi, which I cannot see happening. He said we need to replace Coutinho, sign a goalkeeper, send it back defensive
mid. Stop saying y'all need to replace Coutinho. Stop that crap, man.
That's what I say, man.
Worry about improving.
I don't agree with that.
Replacing one player. That's like Messi.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Everybody want to say they want to replace Messi.
First of all, you can't replace him. There's nobody like Messi. There's nobody like Coutinho. There's nobody like Ronaldo. I mean, you can't replace these players.
You can find a couple of Coutinhos, you know. You can find.
That's what I'm saying. You can find some good players, but then I can't wait till people just let this whole idea about replacing Coutinho go.
I think Klopp believes so much in Keita. That's why he didn't go out and go get a center midfielder. You see the whole January transfer window that was trying to get Keita to come in. I think he believed like his whole plan is around Keita. You know. Remember?
No question. I think he can't wait just like that fan.
He was the man. You know, at first his first spell until he ended that move to Real Madrid. Then Real Madrid fuck up his career. He haven't been the same since.
Yeah. Tony says De Gea saved United at least 16 points this season so far.
It's okay. I'll take Alisson plus Varane. Alisson
he said like last time we played United, could have got a goal up or two, but De Gea footwork is so good. Yeah, he's amazing. Tony Kelly says, what if Emery's replacement is Keita? Yeah, that might be it. And I think maybe that has something to do with Emery wanting to leave. You know, and I'm fine with that. Because honestly, as much as I love Emery, I'd rather have Keita. I mean, that's pretty. They're just in two different worlds. Keita and Chan are just on two different levels of skill, of mentality, it seems. So yeah, and again, we want players that want to play with Liverpool, and Keita clearly wants to do that. Now, I think Emery, he's been playing a lot of football. We got to remember that, especially since Hendo had been injured. He's been playing a lot of football. So you can have a drop-off. Not to make excuses for him, but you can have a drop-off here and there. At the same time, I think he gives 110% every game, I think. He doesn't always play well, but his playing doesn't show me that his mind is somewhere else. And I think if it was, Klopp wouldn't give him the armband. There's no way in the world he'd make him captain if he saw his mind was somewhere else in training, meetings, on the field, whatever. So say what you will about Emery, have your opinion, but he's still playing for the team. You know what I mean? And he's still there now. So until he leaves, then, you know, he's still a player. Let's just get behind him and hope for the best that he can continue playing as good and as positive as he can play this season. So,
what people asking? What else?
Also says Keita is a street footballer like Firmino.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call him street football. I mean, a lot of guys coming from
the Premier League.
A lot of guys coming. Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys who come from Brazil and Africa, they've played that, but so do people from Belgium and other places. If you play football, yeah, but everybody plays street ball, if you will. You know, what I mean, like everyone does that. You know, that kind of makes you a better player. You know, whether you're in France or whatever, everybody has that street ball mentality for the most part, or at least has experienced that. Now, yes, that gives you a bit of an edge as well, especially if you're coming from certain countries. You know, certain things you might go through that they might not go through in England or different countries in Europe or whatever. You know, so that they have that added kind of push for them to succeed and, you know, defy the odds and you know, come out on top. So again, Keita has a heart of gold, man. He's a warrior. He's a battler. We're not going to have too many games when him in the midfield where you can say after the game, oh, the midfield let us down. And again, he can't do that himself. We got to have other guys around him. But him alone, honestly, I think will take up a lot of that slack. You know what I mean? Because he's not that kind of player. And I think he's the kind of guy like Virgil van Dijk that if he sees guys around him that's slacking, he'll put him in place. And we need that. We need that. We haven't had that kind of mentality, probably since Gerrard. Just as far as that leader, holding guys accountable and things of that nature. So, I mean, it can only be a positive. Let me see. Tony says, I want Henderson to go this season or next season. I can only see Milner leaving in another 3 years. Did you see that Facebook thing? Our best player on the field today was Salah Firmino. Yeah, they both were good. They both were good today. We spoke about that. Both got in assists, both got a goal. Just a good win, clean sheet. A lot of positives to take from the game today. Very few negatives, but there were some negatives. And we just got to use that and fight hard for. I mean, I can't wait for this Champions League game, man. I cannot wait. A lot of people say it's gonna be high scoring. You said why?
No, I'm saying like y'all might end that y'all might lose that game or draw that game at Porto.
Well, of course, but that don't mean we might draw or lose to y'all, but that don't mean I don't look forward to it. I'm so happy that Liverpool is just back in the Champions League and we got to the group stage. That's why it's Valentine's Day. It's gonna be a good week, man. A lot of other good games. I just can't wait to see. I always want to see Liverpool play. I don't care what the competition is. So I just can't wait to see us hopefully go to Portugal and get a good result. Let me read a few more comments and then we can go ahead. We need better sponsorship deals, says Tony, so we can get more money for better players for the window and Anfield next year. Gonna raise up to 61,000. I heard. Yeah, I've heard that too. And yeah, I agree with that. Harry Toner, what's up, man? He said, "Do you think we need to win a trophy next season?" I think we need to win a trophy every season. I mean, I always think that. But yeah, I mean, to keep players around and to even bring in more players. It's one thing to have Klopp, and that should be somewhat good enough to bring guys in. But you got to be winning, and that's just the name of the game. You got to be winning. So it'll be interesting to see like teams like Tottenham, how long they can keep that team together. There's been rumors that if Tottenham lose out, that Liverpool might be in for Christian Eriksen or some of their other players. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. The teams need to be winning, and the players who say things like that, like Harry Kane, like, as long as we're winning, he plays a role in that. So when it comes down to games where he's missing shots or he's not having a good game, he got to remember he said that because he's their man. He's their main man. So if he's not producing sometimes, then that he has a hand in them not. I remember last season he sent out all those tweets of the Lion, or the season where Leicester won it. He was sending all these tweets out about the packs of Lion and how they're about to catch Jamie Vardy and they're gonna catch. Play your game, bro. Play your game. Focus on your team. You're the leader of that team. Lead them. Because if y'all not winning trophies, you play a big role in that. It's not just all the players and the coach and the club. It's you. You're part of that team. So, but as long as we're winning, I think we can keep our players and also attract more players. Let me read a couple more comments. Then I got a podcast I got to do in about half an hour. But Ian says, "Do you think we should sign another striker in the summer? Mane's form is not good enough this season. He has been inconsistent." Again, I don't agree with that Mane thing. So I wouldn't mind another attacking player, is what I guess you mean, a more forward player. You can never have enough, in my opinion, especially with injuries. Think about if we had a good guy come off the bench right now to give Salah or Mane a rest or Firmino. You can't keep running them into the ground. They can't play forever. You can't play them until they get hurt. You got to give them a rest. And so hopefully against West Ham, after Porto, we can give some guys a rest. I don't really know what Klopp's plans are, but I don't know. I don't know if we should sign a striker, but I wouldn't mind if we did get one. I'll put it like that. Tony says he's been greedy this season, and Salah has been greedy too.
When you sign that new striker,
he says he's been greedy. I mean, I don't really know if any of the. I mean, you want a greedy forward player within reason. You know what I mean? Like, and Salah sometimes tries to do a lot on his own. Luckily, a lot of times he's successful with that. But there are times where you think, even in the game today, that he probably could have passed it. Same for Mane, though. But you want that in a player. If it goes off right, then you don't really complain about it. Unfortunately, we haven't always had it go off right. So we got to work on that, keep getting in the right positions. It's football. You get unlucky sometimes. Firmino and Salah are both on form. Firmino on 20 goals and Salah on 23. I think Premier goals and Mane is miles behind.
So both.
That's okay, though. We don't. Yeah, but we don't need all three being in 20s. You're saying he's miles behind. He's at the same level he was last season, but it's overshadowed because Salah and Firmino are playing really well this season. But again, you can have your opinion, Tony. That's cool. You know, no problem with that. I just don't
This
think
is
that
a
he's
good
necessarily
balance,
out of
though.
form.
They're attacking a
Yeah, I
good
mean,
balance.
I think you said it's imbalance. You said it's imbalance.
No, it's a good balance.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. Tony said I feel bad for Mane. He was so good for us seasons ago. I mean, I think he's
No,
still good for us. I don't
seasons.
feel bad for him.
Seasons. You're seasons.
I don't
Just
know, man. I
last
mean,
year.
again, people have their opinions, bro. I'm not going. You know, it is what it is. I think Mane is a fine player, and he'll start getting goals again sooner than later. He's going to be really important for us going forward, and once he does that, people won't have anything to say. You know, they'll forget all the things that they've said about Mane. So, but look, man, let's leave it there. Unless there's anything else you wanted to say.
No, it was good. No, thanks for the people that tune in.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we got back on, and you know, I don't know how you feel this week, how you want to do it, but we could definitely get back on before the Champions League if you like, man.
For sure.
Okay, let me read this last comment real quick. He said a lot of people were happy to see Liverpool back in the Champions League because Liverpool have Champions League
True.
pedigree, I guess, based on history. European nights at Anfield is crazy. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people thought when we got Porto that it was an easy draw. Porto are a really, really good team. They've rested some of their players building up to this game on Wednesday, so they'll probably be a little fresher. But either way, be a good game, even though it's away at home for the first one. But all right, guys, we'll see you guys another time, sooner than later, probably before the Champions League. So till then.
Peace out.